We're talking to Attorney Levy Baligod.
Levito Baligod, Attorney Levito Baligod. Magandang hapon, sir, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Storycon.
Hi, Attorney.
Sir, nakamute po ata kayo.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Ayun. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Sir,
Thank you po.
yeah, yes, sir. Napanood ko yung press con nyo kahapon. Quite interesting. But I also I saw an affidavit online, a joint affidavit supposedly made by the 18 former military men. I think I saw it dun sa Paulo Duterte supporters website. Is this the same thing that you have? Kasi yun ang detalyado eh.
It is also a puzzle for me, sir, no? How a supposed unsigned affidavit came out in public. It did not come from me. I
Okay.
clearly stated during the press conference that I will share only the affidavit of the 18 former soldiers
After
I have filed the proper complaint or referral to the Office of the Ombudsman.
I remember that, sir. In fact, that's why I got surprised. But have you been able to peruse this one that came out online? Kasi it had so many details that we wanted to ask you about. Nakita niyo ba itong lumabas online? Is it the same one that you were talking about?
Sorry, but I did not bother to compare what was told to me as an affidavit that appeared online with the affidavit in my possession. Hindi ko po kinompare.
Okay. Well, okay, we don't know if it's the same affidavit, that's fine. But the military has discredited some of the details of your claims already. They said 2 of these 18 individuals were never members of the Navy nor Marine Corps. And in fact, most of those got dishonorable discharges. Could you respond to that?
In their affidavit, the 18 never claimed that all of them belong to the Marine Corps. 2 of them, in fact, in the affidavit, in my possession, claimed that they were former Army, no? Or they belong to the Philippine Army, not with the Philippine Marine Corps. And it is true that in my knowledge, there is one former Marine who was dishonorably discharged because he was, when he served in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force as member of the Philippine contingent, he was asked by his officer to bring some food to the officers' quarters. And he obeyed the instruction of his officer. And then meron kasing military checkpoint. And his vehicle was inspected and found some food inside. And he was arrested and brought back to the Philippines. And during the investigation of the complaint against him, the initial recommendation was for a demotion. But eventually, the Armed Forces of the Philippines came out with a decision to dishonorably discharge him.
Yeah, okay. I'm not really that interested in the specific details of how he was dishonorably discharged. Suffice to say,
But that was your question, ma'am. I'm just
suffice to
responding.
say that he was dishonorably discharged, and what you're saying at this point is there's just one, because the
Navy says it was
the
most.
Navy says it was most of them that were dishonorably discharged.
I don't think so. Maybe we can reconcile our record, no? I will ask the soldiers to confirm with me later on whether they were discharged or not. But the fact remains that they were members of the Philippine Marine Corps before, regardless of the nature or character of their separation from service. We cannot erase the fact or ignore the fact that they were former members of the Philippine Marine Corps.
Well, sir, we
Pero
understand naman, sir.
Attorney, paano kayong how did you come about these people? 18 yan eh. Paano kayong nag-meet? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Meron kayong go-between? Paano po kayong nagkaroon ng ganyang affidavit? At saka, paano kayong lumabas ngayon in a press conference?
Ang predicate po nito ay napanood naman natin lahat. We were all able to watch the statement of Master Sergeant Orly Gutesa. We know how he was treated by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, and I was curious why. And therefore, I was able to ask a friend with the Armed Forces of the Philippines to make way for me to meet at least one or two former workmates, no? Or yung katrabaho ni Mr. Orly Gutesa with Saldico. October pa po yun. And from there on, I was able to speak with more than about 30 of former security details of Saldico. And eventually, we all agreed that they have to come out with what they know with respect to the apparent theft of public funds going to several public officials.
Bakit niyo po nag-decide na mag-press con imbis na pwede niyo namang lapitan yung mga senators, for example, para maimbestigahan yung mga statement na sinasabi niyo kasi there's a lot of doubt and a lot of actually ngayon tuloy-tuloy yung mga denial ng kung sino-sinong binanggit ninyo. May balak ba kayong pumunta pa sa Senate or House, for example?
Alam niyo po, personally, na-observe ko naman ang ating executive, ang ating legislative, at napakahirap pong umasa, no, sa mga institution na ito. Kaya po, minarapat ko na, as I said, I tend to cling on to whatever flicker of hope we have with these institutions. Kaya sinabi ko, magsusumite tayo sa ombudsman. Minarapat namin na ibahagi na kaagad ito sa taong bayan. Dahil hindi naman namin inaasahan na interesado ang Senado dito sa aming sasabihin. Hindi rin namin inaasahan na magkakaroon ng fair investigation sa House of Representatives kasi karamihan sa mga leaders ng House of Representatives ay binanggit nga ng mga ito.
Sir, I understand what you were saying na ibang bagay ang nature at ang character ng service ng mga military personnel. But on the other hand, wouldn't it also affect their credibility as witnesses if most of them, as claimed, but this is the claim of the Navy, if most of them were dishonorably discharged, wouldn't that affect their credibility? Di ba, in courtrooms, isn't that also what lawyers look at and the judges look at when they listen to testimony kung ano yung background at ano yung kredibilidad ng mga testigo?
Oh, that is too early for me to comment on that about credibility. Pero nakita nyo naman po, ang daming taga-media, ang daming taga-kongreso, ang daming taga-senado, naniniwala nga sila sa testimony ng mga convicts, no? Nasa kulungan na, pero pinapaniwalaan ang kanilang sinasabi.
Yes,
Wait,
sir.
teka lang that is the wrong assumption, attorney, because just because you were jailed does not mean there's a confirmation of wrongdoing there. We all know that testimonies can be fabricated, can be coerced, right? You as a lawyer should know that. But anyways, the reason I don't think it's too early to ask about the credibility because the claims that you're making are serious and wide-ranging. So balik tayo dun sa question ni Ami, which is, how long have you known these 18 gentlemen and can you vouch for their credibility?
Yes, I started meeting them in October. I vetted what they said, and that is why it took me about 3 months before I finalized their affidavit because I had to verify their statements with their other co-workers who did not come out as of this time.
Attorney, nabanggit niyo si Orly Gutesa. Would you know kung nasa na siya ngayon? Kasi kahit sabihin na nag-retract siya, wala tayong formal retraction whether orally or in writing
Of course po, base lang ito sa mga kwento na ang source ko ay galing din sa pamilya ni Mr. Orly Gutesa na pinapirma siya na nagsasabi na pinilit lamang siya ni Senator Marcoleta at saka ni Secretary o dating Secretary Mike Defensor para gawin yung kanyang statement sa Senado. At kung
Sino daw po ang nagpilit? Sino
ano
daw
po?
po ang nagpilit? Sino daw po ang nagpilit sa kanya?
meron silang binanggit na isang abogado, wag ko na lang pong sabihin dahil parehong abogado ito ang nagpipilit sa ilan din sa mga dating sundalo na pumirma ng affidavit na inalabas namin kahapon. The same na lawyer na nagpipilit na pirmahan nila yung draft na affidavit na ginawa, no? Pero yung tanong po na kung nasaan si Orly Gotesa ay magkasalungat po yung na ibigay na impormasyon sa akin. Yung isa nagsasabi nasa ibang bansa na siya ngayon. At yung pangalawa naman ay sinasabi na nandito lang sa Pilipinas at pinakawalan na raw nila. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung nila.
Sir, yesterday there was also an assertion on the part of the affidavit signed by these gentlemen and also by from your end to the effect that $2 million were turned over to Senator Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators in the country. I'd like to ask if that money was supposed to be for operations of the ICC supposedly in the Philippines, or if they mean to imply that it was supposed to be some sort of a bribe. Kasi he also mentioned yesterday that it was that the ICC is guilty of graft and corruption for accepting the money.
First po, I want to correct your predicate. There is nothing in the affidavit, and also I did not say anything that the $2 million went to the ICC.
No, sir. I said what I said was
Trillanes.
it was turned over to Trillanes supposedly for
There was an implication,
the
attorney.
use of
Even
the
that.
ICC investigators.
Even with the $2 million turned over to Trillanes, nothing in their affidavit, and I did not say that during the press conference.
But sir, I remember specifically you said you actually accused the ICC investigators of graft and corruption because of that money.
No.
Yes, sir.
That's not
We can review the sir.
Yes,
it's,
yes.
It's
We can
your live
review
is
the,
your live
yes,
is still on Facebook.
Yes, Sir Ed Lingao, you can go over the press con and you will be cleared na ang sinabi ko may mga ibinigay kay Sunny Trillanes na pera. I think kung hindi ako nagkakamali, 2 beses sa kanyang opisina sa Quezon City at kada linggo tuwing nagmi-meeting sila sa Unit 8 or 9 na Polo Club Townhouse sa Makati ay may dala na siyang bitbit at sinasabi nila na binibigyan siya ng pondo para sa mga ICC. No? Kaya nga po pati yung hotel accommodation nila ay binayaran ni Saldico at nakasaka ni Sunny Trillanes.
Okay.
Yung mga sasakyan na ginamit nila ay sasakyan ni Saldico. Yun po ang sinasabi ko na merong corruption, merong bribery. Na maaaring committed by the ICC investigators.
Kaya
And
nga.
But sir,
if you look
didn't you
at
just
the
affirm what I
totality-
said? But sir, that's what I was asking. So you did say nga na the ICC investigators may have committed graft and corruption.
Yes.
In fact, you now even add bribery kasi kahapon tanda ko lang was graft and corruption eh. So let me ask you about that po. Actually, that's the root of my question. Were you saying that this was used for their operations in the Philippines or for them to take home as their bribe or loot? Kasi now you're saying bribe.
Yes, kasi they are investigators, no? They are investigating, but they were wined and dined by Trillanes and the known political opponents of the person they are investigating. Kaya po, hindi po ba kwan yun, bribery and even graft and corruption? Bakit ipapabayad nila sa ibang tao yung kanilang expenses dito?
Sorry. So let's not play around with words, attorney. So first you deny what Ed said, which is that you are accusing them of bribery, and then now you're affirming it. Ano ba talaga?
No.
Are you accusing the ICC investigators of bribery and graft and corruption?
Yes, yes, that is clear. They committed bribery, they committed graft and corruption.
Okay.
In the technical meaning of those words.
Then why were you countering Ed before? That was his question, right?
Anyway,
Okay,
sir, let's
let's move on.
move on. Let's
Okay,
move on.
let's move on. Where is
the
your
premise
evidence?
of,
That is a very serious allegation to make. And you said yesterday you had substantial evidence. So where's your evidence? And I'm not talking about the affidavit, because as we know, affidavits, especially when they're not signed, mean nothing. Where's your evidence?
As I said, you await after I have filed it with the Ombudsman. And going back to the premise, as I said, I want to correct the factual premise of what Mr. Ed Lingao said a while ago, that the $2 million were given to the ICC. Wala po yan sa affidavit.
So linawin lang natin.
Sir,
Meron
but
po
you
bang dinala
also
yung mga
mentioned the
ICC?
56 million pesos, if I recall correctly, you mentioned dalawang maleta with 56 million pesos each converted
Yes.
to $2 million that were
Yes.
turned over to Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators?
Hindi po.
Did I hear you right
But,
yesterday?
You are basing your comment on what you claim as having publicized in social media. Di po ba? Na unsigned yan?
Well, sir, the 56 million was something I heard from you yesterday, and the two maletas, and converted
Opo.
to $2 million.
Ito po yung sinabi ko exactly, no? Before December of 2023,
Yes, sir. That's the one.
okay, ay nagpapalit ang mga tao ni Zaldico ng 112 million equivalent to $2 million. At ang sinabi ni Mark Tiksay at saka ni Paul Estrada, pinaghahandaan nila ang pagdating ng mga foreigners. Wala
Okay,
pong
Nakarating po ba sa foreigner yon? Nakarating
Ano po?
po ba sa foreigner? Nakarating po ba sa foreigner yung pera na yon? Or kahit directly or indirectly?
Wala pong sinasabi ang mga dating sundalo na nakita nila na yung 2 million ay inabot sa ICC investigators. Wala po yan sa affidavit.
Well, actually, sir, my
Inabot
question
po ba
kanina
yung
was
pera
ano eh.
kay Senator Trillanes?
My question
Inabot po
kanina
ba
was
yung pera kay
with regard
Senator?
to the $2 million that you said yesterday that it was turned over to Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators. I also never said that you said that it was given to them. That's what I was asking, whether it was given to them or whether it was used for their spending.
That's why po, I wanted to clarify a while ago your factual premise. There is nothing in the affidavit, and I did not say anything to the effect that the $2 million were turned over to Trillanes or were given to the ICC investigators. Ang sinasabi lamang po ay, ang sabi ni Paul Estrada, pinaghahandaan nila ang pagdating ng foreigners.
So hindi niyo po alam kung sino yung foreigner na yon?
Eventually, ang sabi ng mga sundalo na ito, in their affidavit,
Yes.
they claim that they eventually came to know who these foreigners were. At ito na nga yung mga ICC investigators.
Sinabi po ba nila na napunta sa mga foreigner na yan in any way, directly or indirectly, yung $2 million or yung 56 million per maleta na pera?
What is clear is what Paul Estrada and Mark Tiksay said to these soldiers, no? Na pinaghahandaan natin ang pagdating ng foreigners.
Okay, so hanggang dun
so
lang
walang
po ang
direct
alam nyo,
statement
sir.
na ibinigay.
Sorry. So hanggang dun lang po ang alam nyo, sir. Wala po nakakita that this money was in fact handed over, or nobody has evidence at this point that the money was given to these so-called foreigners. Tama?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct.
doesn't that just collapse your whole argument?
What is my argument?
Which is that
That-
there was bribery involved, there was graft and corruption involved with the ICC investigators.
Look,
And by the way, how would the Marines recognize the ICC
Wait.
investigators?
Let me respond to that. The bribery and graft and corruption are centered on the fact that they were all of their expenses were paid for by Saldico and Sani Trillanes.
Pero paano pong nalaman na all the expenses were paid? Kasi tinatanong ko na ngayon did the foreigners, in this case the ICC investigators, at tinatanong ko nga kung merong statement or evidence na they were yung part of that money went to them directly or indirectly for their expenses nung nasa Pilipinas sila.
Mm-hmm.
Ito po ang ginamit nilang mga kung saan sila tumira dito sa Pilipinas.
Accommodations, okay.
Yung mga condominium units ni Saldico, sa Raffles, sa Citadines, yung mga hotel accommodations nila sa Seda, sa iba't ibang hotels dito, hindi ko maalala yung iba, sa Diamond, etc., ay pinabayad ni Saldico kay Mark Tiksay at saka si Paul Estrada. At merong inuutusan din si Sani Trillanes na tao niya. Nakabanggit doon sa affidavit nila kung sino yung inuutusan ni Sani na magbayad ng mga hotel accommodations. Kasi pabalik-balik po sila dito sa Pilipinas 2024 to 2025. Hindi lang iba-iba, yun po ang sinasabi ko. Yung accommodation nila, yung food nila, yung sasakyan na ginamit, hindi nila ibinigay ni Saldico at saka ni Sani Trillanes.
Paano pong nalaman na ICC investigator, yung mga foreigner?
Exactly. How would they recognize them?
Yung mga sundalo po ay kasama nila Sila yung nag-provide ng security every day. Nandoon din sila sa kung nasaan ang mga foreigners na ito. At na-confirm nga nila eventually na taga-ICC ang mga ito dahil kasama sila noong pumunta sila sa National Bilibid Prisons, sila ang nag-secure sa mga foreigners na ito. Pag pumupunta sila sa Midas Hotel, nakikita rin nila yung mga ini-interview na mga supposed witnesses ng mga ito. At sabi ko nga, yung si Chantal Daniels na team leader ng ICC investigators ay kilala na nila kasi escort nga sila And they were able to take her picture and confirm na doon sa isang TV screen grab na nilagay nila dyan, among others, ay maliwanag na si Chantal Daniel yon.
How could these so-called investigators have had military and Marines protection when in 2024, hindi pa po nagko-cooperate ang government sa ICC? In fact, President Marcos made it very clear several times then that the government was not cooperating. So are you saying that he was lying about it?
Yes, the president was lying about his claim that the government will never cooperate with the ICC. Why? Well, itong mga Marines na ito, hindi na sila in active service, tao di Saldico ito. Pero yung mga officials ng government, si former Secretary Crispin Remulla was meeting with these ICC investigators in a very private place, bahay niya. Itinago yung pagmi-meeting ng mga ito. And
Kaya nga, see, attorney, that's the other thing. It was all made incredibly confidential and secret. Trust me, us in the media, we're also trying to find out more at that time. Pero talagang wala kami makuha. So we knew they were operating in secret. So how would the 18 gentlemen that you're with know about it?
They saw them, ma'am. They saw them meeting. The ICC investigators were seen meeting with these government officials. Si Speaker Martin Romualdez, si former Police Chief Nick Torre, former DOJ Secretary Martin Remulla, Sani Trillanes.
Sir, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to my original question. I'd like to find a way for us to get an answer here. If I get you correctly, your clarification, as you call it, is that yung $2 million na kinonvert from the 56 plus 56 ay paghahanda para sa pagdating ng mga foreigners who turned out to be the ICC people. My question to you from the very start was this money supposed to be used for the operations of the investigation of the ICC here, or was it supposed to be used as a bribe for the ICC investigators? If you recall, that was my original question. So, ayun po. I'll go back to that, and I'd like to follow up from there. Ano po, which one was it?
Yeah, there is no categorical statement from the former soldiers that the $2 million went either to Sunny Trillanes or the ICC investigators. What they merely stated is that Paul Estrada confided with them that they are preparing for the arrival of the foreigners. That is why nagpapapalit sila sa dolyar amounting to $2 million.
I ask that kasi it's not just a bit, it's quite complicated to convert 56 times 2 million pesos to $2 million. A huge amount of dollars yan. It's not easily done, and I'm wondering if there's a paper trail there. And number two, if it's for operations here, in preparation for the arrival, why convert to dollars when you're in the Philippines where they're supposed to be investigating, when they'd be spending in pesos? Isn't that a very roundabout way of going about it and needlessly complicated? Not unless you're implying that it was money that they were supposed to bring out.
I cannot speculate on that, Mr. Ed. No, sorry.
So
I cannot make any speculation as to why.
But didn't you wonder why the story goes like that? Wasn't there any question in your mind? I mean, 56 plus 56, 112 million pesos convert to dollars. Parang hirap gawin eh. Tapos from there, saan mo gagamitin dito sa Pilipinas? I mean, I'm sure that struck your mind.
Nawala siya.
Okay, we lost him.
He disappeared.
Okay, I guess,
Did the
we'll
line
try to get him
give or
back.
he hung up?
We'll try to get him back. I don't know if he hung up or anyway, we'll try to get him back. But we were going around and around in circles. Kasi.
Exactly. We were going around in circles. That's why I was like, okay, let's move on.
Okay. So, but yeah.
Ayan na siya ulit. Bumalik na
Okay,
siya.
hey, that's good.
Okay.
Sorry po at
Yes, sir.
naputol.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's good that you came
Morning.
back. Anyway, sir, I'm wondering lang, I'm sure that question struck your mind. I mean, that's a question anybody would ask. Eh. Didn't you wonder?
Yeah, I did ask them, and that is only what they can tell me, that they heard or they were told by Paul Estrada and Mark Tiksay that they are going to exchange the 112 million pesos into $2 million because they were preparing for the arrival of the foreigners.
Were
Yun
they-
lang po ang
Yes, sir.
sinasabi nila.
Were they able to
Attorney,
elaborate
may
how
nabanggit
they...
bang bangko?
Mhm.
Attorney, may nabanggit bang bangko kung saan nag-change? Kasi that's saldi ko eh. Baka
Hindi-
normal sa kanya. Bilyonaryo yan eh. Baka
Hindi po
naman
bangko
normal
eh.
dun sa bangko niya.
Hindi
na
po
magganyan
bangko
nga.
kung saan sila nagpalit. Hindi po
Saan
bangko.
daw?
It's a building in Makati. Ayoko na pong sabihin yung pangalan ng building, no? Pero hindi po yun bangko. Hindi bangko.
Ano siya? Money changer?
Pwede pong money changer pero nasa isang kwan siya, medyo high-end na building sa Makati.
Oo nga. But it's a financial, it's a BSP regulated financing institution.
Hindi po ako nakakasiguro kung BSP regulated yung opisina na pinagpalitan nila ng dolyar.
But it's a financing institution, hindi siya, involved siya sa monetary activities.
Po pwede pong ganon.
Oo. Na legit naman. Baka naman alam nyo kung legit o illegitimate yung operation. Kasi Ano yun?
iti-
Parang money changer.
Itinuro lang po sa akin yung building eh.
You know,
Are you gonna
Hindi na
name the
po-
building?
Yeah, hindi na ako umakyat sa building para i-verify kung opisina ba 'yan o isang
You know- You
hindi
know,
ko alam kung
oh.
legitimate or illegitimate yung opisina na pinagpalitan nila.
Oo. Hindi naman private company. Baka naman kumpanya ni Saldico yung mga sinasabi nyo na
Hindi po eh. Walang opisina si Saldico doon sa building na 'yon sa Makati. Oo.
You know,
Oo.
attorney,
Sir.
it sounds like a lot of this information that you're holding on to is secondhand and third-hand. In some cases. Can I just ask what is your motivation here? Because all of a
No,
sudden
ma'am.
you hold this press conference alleging serious wrongdoing. We've yet to see some evidence, and I'm also just wondering what was your original motivation here? You said you only met the 18 gentlemen in October of last year and started building this case. So paano po kayo nasama dito?
You know, ma'am, you cannot label the information they have as second hand or third hand.
No, your
Because
information is secondhand. Kasi we were asking you
personal
about...
witnesses po sila.
Yes,
No?
but they only told you. Wala ka naman talaga doon, right? That's the definition of secondhand, sir. You
But
weren't there.
I did not execute the affidavit. They were the ones who execute the affidavit.
Correct. Yes, they executed. Then they told you about all of these things. So your information is secondhand, not their information. So that's what I was asking you. What is your involvement here?
I think you misunderstood the rules on evidence, ma'am. But nevertheless, I
What
do
do
not
I
want
not
to
understand
argue
about the
with you.
rules of evidence?
Yes.
What do I not understand about the rules of evidence?
For describing their statement or my statement as second hand.
It's not secondhand. You weren't there, right? As you said, you yourself said you weren't there when all of these things were going on, when they were withdrawing the money,
Do you
giving
know
the money to
about-
somebody
do
else.
you
They
know
were
the
all
meaning
told to
of,
you.
Do you know the meaning of independently relevant statement?
Okay, so that's what I'm also trying to get at. What is your involvement here? Bakit kayo nasama dito? You're not a prosecutor. You're not. Are you a lawyer for some of these Marines?
Alam nyo, ma'am, bilang isang Pilipino, meron akong obligasyon na mahanap natin ang katotohanan at katarungan dito sa pagnanakaw ng
Sir,
pera
sir.
sa kabad ng bayan.
Oo, you don't have to tell me
Okay,
that.
you asked
We are
about
also
my
trying to get to the bottom of
motivation.
things. Oo, kami din.
You asked about my motivation, no? Alam niyo po, noong 2013, ang advocacy ko ay anti-corruption at ako ang nag-expose sa PDAP scam. And Ben Harloy was one of my witnesses. Kinasuhan ko ang 14 na senador, 198 na congressmen at limang cabinet secretaries.
Okay, yeah.
Pangalawa, yung mga pag-aabuso ni Teves sa Negros. Halos 1 taon po akong pabalik-balik sa Negros kasi walang matakbuhan ang mga biktima ng patayan doon. Ngayon po, nakita ko kung paano trinato si Gutesa. At meron akong obligasyon na tumulong para malaman natin ang katotohanan. You ask about my motive, that is my motive.
I don't
Gusto
understand.
kong makaambag sa paghahanap ng katarungan.
I don't understand what you mean when you say with how they treated Gutesa sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. We all watched the hearings. In fact, si Senator Lacson wanted him to come back and to give them more details, di ba? Kaya lang siya mismo yung nawala. He disappeared. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean by how they treated Gutesa and why you're making it sound like he was treated very badly.
Okay, number one, we all witnessed Gutesa taking his oath before the committee. At binasa niya yung statement niya. Ibig sabihin, yung statement niya was made under oath before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Bakit tinututukan yung alleged falsification ng notarization when his oath before the committee was already equivalent to a notarization, no? Pangalawa, sinasabi mo na nawala si Gutesa dahil hindi na siya nagpakita, pinapahanap ni Senator Lacson. Alam niyo po ba kung bakit siya nawala? Was it on his own volition na hindi siya nagpakita? Ang sabi sa nakakontak sa pamilya nila ay itinago siya ng mga merong interes na pagtakpan ng katotohanan.
Actually, yun nga, tinatanong ko, attorney, kung nasa na si Orly Gutesa. Sinabi ni Senator Lacson actually na yung sworn statement niya before the Senate Blue Ribbon will stand kasi nga, ayun na nga, sworn statement. Hindi na daw kailangan gamitin yung statement na merong whatever forged notary or whatever, okay na daw yung kanyang sworn statement sa Senado. Sinabi niya yon. So ngayon, kung ano, ang tanong ko ngayon, since you are forwarding these statements to the Ombudsman, ano exactly yung nature ng ipa-file yung complaint at sino yung fa-filean nyo? Kasi you're saying na dapat hindi pinondohan ni Saldico yung mga operation dito nung sinasabi niyong mga foreigner who turned out to be ICC prosecutor. Sino yung balak niyong filean at ano yung nature ng ipa-file nyo kung sakasakali lang?
Well, una, bibigyan po natin ng pagkakataon si Ombudsman Remulla.
Yes. Nawawala yung ano niya, signal.
We lost the line
Oh,
again.
nawala.
Apologies
Back.
for that.
Babalik yan. O, yun ang sinasabi. Saka, isa pang tanong dyan, Ed. Ayan na. Okay,
Hi, back, sir.
bumalik na si attorney ulit. Hi, attorney.
Sorry po
Well, thank you for coming back.
Pakituloy lang po. Pakituloy lang po.
Yung Office of the Ombudsman will decide what cases
Yes.
to be filed against whom. And second, clearly to be charged should be the several congressmen and senators who receive money, no? Kasi po, una, as a public official, hindi ka po pwedeng tumanggap ng milyon-milyon na pera. Pangalawa, hindi nila ito dineclare sa SALN nila. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Opo, yes,
We can hear you.
yes.
Sorry.
We can hear you.
Oo. At marami pong violations ito, no? Yung sa Republic Act 3019, Republic Act 6713.
Sir, to that point that you're making right now, tama ba
Wala sa
the
ulan.
affidavit? Oh.
Nawala ulit.
Line is very
Nag-ano yung
unstable.
connection eh.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you can come
Apologize
back.
for that.
Oo.
Maybe we could try him one last time, then let him go since the line is very shaky.
Ami, you can see naman pag nakabalik siya, no?
Ayan, bumalik na siya.
Okay, okay.
Bumalik na siya.
Sir,
Okay na.
anyway,
Okay.
you
Sorry
mentioned...
po,
we can hear you,
maganda
sir.
naman ang
Opo,
signal ko
opo.
dito pero napuputol.
Yes, sir. But we appreciate you coming
okay.
back. Sir, let me ask you lang about the affidavit that they signed. Of course, it does include members of Congress and the Senate who allegedly received maletas, some medium, some large, and so on down the line. Tama ho ba ang intindi ko na some of these congressmen include Raul Manuel, Arlene Brosas, Franz Castro, and Laila de Lima?
Yes po, oo.
Oo.
Ang basis po kasi ng mga sundalo na ito, pag nagmi-meeting po sila sa Unit 8 and 9, no? As I said, ang naging sistema ni Saldico, nagdadala siya ng isang sasakyan na nandun yung mga pera, no? At kasama niya itong mga security personnel na ito. And if you have seen Units 8 and 9 in Polo Club Townhouse, yung parking area doon nasa tapat lamang ng Units 8 and 9. At nakikita nila na yung dinala nilang pera, no? Kung ano man ang lalagyan yan, paper bag or whatever, paglabas ng mga nag-uusap doon ay bit-bit na nila kasi yung the same
Yes, sir. Yes,
paper bags o maleta na dinala nila doon.
Yes, sir.
And that is their, a reasonable mind will be convinced na yung binitbit nila ay pera talaga ang laman.
Good point, sir. But also a reasonable mind would also ask na it's more understandable to believe that members of the administration could possibly receive money from these administration people. But these people I just mentioned, they belong to the opposition. They're not part of the administration. In fact, kasama sila sa nag-file ng impeachment complaints against not just Tar Duterte but Bongbong Marcos. So I'm sure you had that same question yourself.
We lost him again.
Nawala siya ulit.
I apologize for that. Medyo
Wala.
cliffhangers.
Hindi kasi
each time.
sinasabi nga niya merong secret support yung Marcos administration doon sa impeachment ni Rodrigo Duterte. That's the principal premise dito sa mga akusasyon na to, di ba? At ginamit ng administration si Saldico na at that time nasa pwesto pa along with the speaker para i-finance yung operation to
Correct.
proceed with the investigation informally.
Correct. That's a pretty big claim.
Yan
Especially
ang main
since
premise.
Oo nga, especially since
Ayan na siya ulit. Nandiyan na siya ulit.
okay.
Attorney,
Yes, ma'am. Sorry po.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know what's
Opo.
happening
Okay,
with my
but we appreciate your coming
connection.
back. We do appreciate your coming back. I know it's difficult from your end, but you keep coming back. So that's fine. Sir, my question to you, I'm sure you asked the same question yourself, na bakit yung mga bahagi ng oposisyon, na bahagi ng grupong gusto ring ipa-impeach si Pangulong Marcos, bakit sila magsa-sign on? Bakit sila bibigyan ng mali-malitang pera? I'm sure you asked that question yourself. So bakit po?
Yeah, I don't know po. Yun po yung nakita nila eh. That's what they've seen. That's what they observed with their own eyes, with their senses. I cannot question them. Hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin. Bakit?
ayan na.
Oh, something's wrong with my line.
Hindi, okay
Sorry
na
po.
ulit. Okay
Okay
na
na, sir.
ulit.
You're back na. You're back.
Okay ulit. Yeah.
Bakit kaya?
Okay na ulit, attorney.
Oo. Normal po na tanungin. Actually, bakit nabigyan ang mga ito? Pero sabi nila, yan po ang nakita namin, sir eh. And in fact, they said that a lot more legislators receive money from Zaldico, pero hindi nila matandaan ang mga pangalan. That's why, challenge pa nga ho nila ako, sir. Hindi naman challenge, but it was a request. Sir, can you accompany us to Congress? Pagka nagkaroon sila ng session, maybe we can attend a session para makita namin kung sino-sino yung mga nakita namin noon.
But again, to be clear, they did not see the money in these so-called paper bags and maleta, correct?
Nakita po nila kasi una nga sila yung kasama sa pagbitbit po eh.
Sabi mo,
sila
sir,
yung-
it's a reasonable mind that will assume that it's money.
Pardon?
Di ba kakasabi niyo lang that, they didn't see it, but, a reasonable mind will conclude that it was money?
No, ma'am. Hindi ko po sinabi na hindi nila nakita na pera yon, no? Alam nilang pera yon, kasama sila sa pag-empake, pag-transport,
Doon sa
etc.
building na sinasabi niyo. Doon sa building.
O, saang building po? Doon sa townhouse?
Doon po nanggaling yung pera.
Opo, sa
Yung
Horizon.
building.
Sa Horizon Homes.
Pangalanan niyo na yung building para ano.
Yun nga po,
Para
yung
matingnan din
Horizon
namin.
Homes sa BGC.
BGC.
Yeah. Horizon
Sa
Homes.
BGC.
Oo.
I don't know if that
pangalan?
answers your question, Ed.
Horizon Homes po.
Horizon Homes.
Pero,
Ayun, Ed, Horizon Homes.
yes,
Who lives in Horizon Homes, Ed?
oo. Does that answer your question, Ed? Parang,
Well, basically
Horizon
sabi ni
Homes,
attorney, he
Ed.
doesn't know din eh.
Okay.
That's what the attorney said eh.
okay. And by the way, attorney, the reason that nag-focus sila doon sa notarization of the testimony is of Sergeant Orly Guteza is because that's the first step, no? You have to stress test the credibility of whoever is making that allegation. And kung dun pa lang, bumagsak na, nag-fail na, the notary herself said she did not notarize it, then what does that say about the rest of his testimony, right? I mean, I think you're an officer of the court, so you should know how important it is, the notarization. But anyway, my last question to you is, what is your connection to Attorney Mike Defensor?
To Attorney Mike Defensor?
Oo.
No, he is not a lawyer. But I first came to know him when I worked in Congress as a member of the staff of Congressman Edgar Lara and Congresswoman Celia Layus way back in the 1990s.
Okay, so you guys go a long way back.
Yeah, and then second, after I was able to talk with these soldiers, I deemed it necessary to inquire with him what happened to Gutesa so that I also know how to take care of these former soldiers.
So ano nga daw po ang nangyari kay Mr. Gutesa?
Ang sabi nga po ay nasa ibang bansa na siya, pero yung ibang source ko naman ay nagsasabi na pinalaya na siya at kasama na
So,
kasama na niya ang kanyang pamilya daw ngayon. So I don't know. I'm not sure about the accuracy of those informations.
oo nga, sir, that's what we keep coming back to, the accuracy of the information, the accuracy of the allegations. Even si Sergeant Guteza, si Attorney Mike Defensor told us he was hiding within the Marines compound. We fact-checked that with the Marines. They said no. They were 100% sure that nobody would have gotten in there without their knowing. So, you know, you tell me, who do we believe? I mean,
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I cannot answer for Mike Defensor.
Di ba magkasama kayo, sir, sa press con?
Si Mike Defensor po, kasama ko.
Ay, sorry, sir. Oo, naiwan sa press con. He organized the press
Okay.
con allegedly.
I don't know about that, ma'am.
But sino nag-organize ng press con, attorney?
Meron po akong kinausap na kaibigan ko but not Mike Defensor.
Okay. So the organizer of this press conference is a friend of yours.
Yes.
Did they also fund it?
No.
Who funded the press con?
Who funded the press con? Wala po akong binayad sa mga pumunta doon sa press con.
Hindi, I mean there's still small costs associated with that, right? The venue rental, food, and it's Club Filipino, so I assume hindi yan ganun ka-cheap.
I will have to ask my friend who arranged bakit ganito? Ayan. I will have to ask my friend, ma'am, who arranged for that press con if she shouldered the expenses for that.
Is this friend a politician by any chance?
No, she's not a politician.
It's a she.
Yes, and she's an ordinary citizen.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we've run out of time. Actually, we extended a little bit. We'll let you go, but thank you so much for talking to us today, Attorney Levy Baligod.
Thank
Salamat,
you
sir.
po.
Thank you, attorney.
Thank you. Thank you po.